hope you're good and trust your day is going well. I want to tell you a little story about me. Just a little thing about me that some of you do not know. Yeah. So my name is Uchenna Jessica Comas, and I am not one of those ladies who was born with a silver spoon, gold spoon, or even bronze spoon. I wasn't even born with a stainless steel spoon. I would say I was born with maybe a clay spoon, C-L-A-Y. I know it sounds funny, right? But that's the truth. My elder siblings, had the best when my dad was working. But things changed when I came along. I remember in 1991 when my dad retired, and his retirement coincided with the creation of Abia State, so we had to go to the village to live. And prior to that time, my siblings and my parents would just go to the village during Christmas season to spend the Christmas holiday. But things changed when I came along, because I was just barely 4 years old when my dad retired. I'm the last of 6 girls, and I have a brother, so we're 7 in number, 6 girls and a boy. My brother is the youngest in the family. I'm sharing this story because when I see some ladies do certain things, and then the excuse is, they come from poor backgrounds, their parents have died, and all of that. Being born in a poor background, or being raised by poor parents, is not enough reason for girls or women or ladies to treat their bodies. It's not enough reason for people to go into crime or do all sorts of illegitimate businesses. So back to my story. So at 4 years, I went to the village with my parents and my siblings to live. And it wasn't easy. Yes, coming for Christmas, visiting during Christmas period, and going back to the city, Owerri, Imo State, and coming to live in the village wasn't the same. We had to go to the stream. We had to do farm work. We were exposed to the harsh reality of living in the village. There was no pipe on water. There was no borehole. So we had to go to the stream. I remember when I was in primary school, I'll wake up in the morning and very early and go to the stream. And it happened till my secondary school. It wasn't easy. Life in the village was not easy. I did everything every child that grew up in the village did or do. The only thing I really didn't do was to go fetching firewood, because my dad had someone he bought the firewood. But as for every other thing, going to the farm, cooking with firewood, frying gari, I did all of those things. My father retired. I think he wasn't even 50 years old when he retired, and my mother was just a primary school teacher. And you know how teachers' salary can be. very meager, but we survived. Even when the first, of my sibling that got married, when she was about getting married, and she was in her, I think her 4th year, because she did a 5-year course. And my in-law now, my brother-in-law now came and made his intention known to my father that he wanted to marry my sister, who was just in her 4th year in school. And my daddy insisted that she must finish her education, she must graduate before he married her. He worked hard, a retiree, but he did all the jobs. He did contracts, a few contracts here and there to provide for his family. He never shifted his responsibility to one young man who came to marry one of his daughters. And together with my mother's support, they raised us up. They gave us the best education. At least all of us are graduates by the grace of God. The 6 girls are graduates. A retiree, a pensioner, whose pension was maybe not up to 50,000 naira. Even though he worked in a federal parastatal, but I'm sure his pension was not to 50,000 naira. My parents challenged most of my uncles to send your children to school, to send your children to university, because they couldn't even imagine how my dad and my mom did it. I remember some of my uncles and cousins coming to ask my father and my mother how they did it, how they managed to send us to school.